Profile Pod TV. I'm your host, Double A, back for another spectacular episode of the podcast. It's great to be back here in the pod, man, because, I was on a little mini hiatus, went on vacation, Thanksgiving break, all that good stuff. Now I'm back about 20 pounds heavier. That's okay. That's what Thanksgiving's for, right? You pig out, you spend time with family, you disconnect a little bit, but it's great to be back, man. Don't forget to subscribe to Profile Pod TV on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. Leave me a rate and review on Apple Podcasts. All that good stuff, man. So much to get to catch up on, man. I've been pretty active this past week. I had a nice event last night, networking event here in LA, and got to meet a lot of great people, a lot of awesome people, man. So really trying to do my best to connect with others and network. And that's what it's all about, man. That's what it's all about. And this platform is about putting others on a pedestal, man, and supporting others. So. And don't forget about Social Nostra. You can also find us there. It's a fresh new network of talented creators and shows on Roku and Instagram. So don't forget about Social Nostra. Give us a follow. We got a lot of great podcasts on there as well, man. So like I said, man, leave me a rate and review. We're on Twitter. We're on all the social media. And we have another great one in store for you tonight. This gentleman hails from the beautiful state of Kentucky. And I've only seen pictures, damn it, but I'm going to get out there to the Bluegrass State. He's a model. He's an actor. He's a personal trainer. He's doing everything, man. And he's doing some big things. And I'm really, really honored to have him here in the podcast tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome Joshua Verax. How are you, brother?
I'm doing well, my man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm doing great, man. You know how the holidays are coming up, Josh, and this is where like I said, I put on about 20 to 30 pounds every year. Christmas time's coming up but it's my favorite time of year, man. I don't know. Are you guys getting snow out there now, Josh?
Not at the moment, but I mean, normally we get snow sometimes in December, but most of the time it happens with like February, March.
Okay.
Sometimes January.
Yeah. It's starting to get cold though, huh?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Man, I'd love to get out there, man. Lexington and Louisville and all those great places. A lot of history out in Kentucky, man. A lot of, those battlefields, and I would love to get out there sometime, man. Have you been to any of those battlefields?
I have not, but Kentucky is a beautiful place. Growing up here, sometimes, I guess I take it for granted, but it's a beautiful state. I mean, between the rivers, the hills, the trees, all of it is just gorgeous. Yeah, the people are fantastic too.
Absolutely, man. And as you're a reflection of that, man. And like I said, there's a lot of history out there, man. And I'd love to definitely get out to one of those. Is it the Revolutionary War battlefields or Civil War? Civil War.
Yeah.
Civil War, right? Yeah. That's super cool, man. I've only seen pictures and videos and stuff like that, man. But that stuff fascinates me, bro. I'll tell you what, man.
History is cool.
Yeah, right. But yeah, Josh, man, there's so much to talk about, man. You're doing your thing. You're in the acting world. You're modeling. You're doing your personal training thing, man. And yeah, man. Let's start off with acting, man. Acting, right? How did you get into acting, man? But what fascinates me, Josh, and I'm going to be honest, man, you're dispelling the myth of, you have to be in Hollywood. You got to be in Southern California, Los Angeles to be successful, man, to get jobs in acting. And you're a working actor, man. You're killing it. How does that talk a little bit about that, man? How are you able to kind of get work in acting gigs and in significant acting gigs, awesome acting gigs, bro? Tell us about that, man.
So a lot of it is like, it's different than the LA market or the Atlanta market. But networking is key, and like meeting the right people. And also when it comes to any of the other acting stuff, like commercial work, having an agency is pretty important. And thankfully I have 2 agencies that I can work with who, they send me auditions left and right. So, I mean, when I have time, I do audition for them. But lately, I've had a lot of film stuff, and like I haven't really had time to audition for them.
Oh, yeah. Which is, I mean, you're busy, man. You're busy. But yeah, right. So it's key. So are these agencies that you're with? Are they out of Kentucky? Are they out of a different state? Where are they out of?
So originally they're based out of other states. So you got Tribe Talent in Nashville. And then you have Helen Wells in Indianapolis. But Helen Wells has a like satellite office in Louisville. And that's actually where I originally went instead of going to the Indianapolis branch.
Oh, okay. Louisville. Yeah, man. So, but what's key though, man? What's key? They get you auditions and stuff. Do you have to audition with them first? I would imagine so, right? Your headshots and all that good stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you first join an agency, you know, they want to see your portfolio. They want to see any of the other stuff that you've done. They put you on camera, do like a little bit of testing stuff to see how well you slate. But when it comes to like auditions, once you're already a part of the agency, you can basically do them from home. Like I do them all the time. It's just getting your lighting right is key, because sometimes it'll be just like, you know, we need you to slate, you know, maybe your name, your agency, and maybe a line, or it'll be just stills where it's like, just take, you know, some pictures of you, the right side of you, the left side of you, straight on, full body, stuff like that.
I see, man. No, that's great, man. Like I said, man, you're pretty active, man,
and I hustle. That's my thing. It's like I'm always on my grind, always networking, and always helping others too. Like a lot of like models who are coming up, you know, they want to know like information about these certain agencies that I've been a part of, and I tell them, or they ask me like, you know, how'd you do this? How'd you do that? And I'm all for helping them. But, you know, sometimes you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So that happens sometimes.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. But which is another key component, Josh. You got to hustle, man. You got to be proactive, right? You can't just sit and wait for stuff to come to you. Acting is, you know, it's the nature of it is you got to get yourself out there, man. You know, so I don't think doesn't matter where you're at with that, Hollywood or Antarctica, right? You gotta hustle.
Very much so. You definitely have to stay consistent. That is key. I see, you know, there's a lot of people who start in this industry and they're in it for like, I don't know, maybe a year, and they fall off. It's like they expect everything to blow up for them in that year, and in reality, it takes years, not just one.
Yeah. What the hell? I'm not Denzel Washington yet. I've been doing this for a year, man. Shit. No, I hear you, man. I've done my acting too, man. I love to get back into the game. My goal is to get back into it, and you know, but yeah. Well, I was hustling pretty hard there for about a year, man. And then, but you know, I had other circumstances, and you know, excuses, huh?
I said life happens, man. Like I understand.
Yeah, you know, but in retrospect, though, Josh, I you know, I kick myself in the you know what sometimes, because I think back, you know, I was single. There was no excuse, but that's where I'm at now. You know, I'm trying to fulfill some goals that, you know, that I left unfulfilled. You know, so
I understand.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, man. And how long have you been acting now?
So if you're talking about just film acting, only about a year. Prior to that, mostly just commercials, and then before that, it was all just, you know, stock photography, still photos, stuff like that, modeling stuff.
And so, what would you say, like, at grand total, man, overall, like what?
Overall, I never really count like the first year, because the first year I didn't know what I was doing.
Okay.
So I would definitely say about 4 years.
Okay. Hey, but you know what? You got to start somewhere, man, you know?
Yeah, that's true.
And I bet
your first year is tough.
What's that?
Your first year is tough. Like you're building your portfolio, you're doing a lot of things for free. Or in a lot of people's cases, you know, they're paying people, which is good. You know, photographers need to be paid too. But, you know, they're paying for their photos or their reels and things like that.
Yeah, man, no doubt. But I bet you learned so much in that first year, man. When you look back, you know.
I definitely did.
Right. Yeah. It's again, man. It's that you got to do what you got to do, man. Everybody starts somewhere, right?
Right. Everybody's path is different.
Yeah, no, exactly. But why did you get into acting, brother? What was it that kind of, what was your inspiration for it, man?
So originally, back, gosh, it was probably back in like 2012, 2013. I was up in the mall in Ohio. There was this lady who came out and she worked at an Abercrombie and Fitch. And while she came out, saw me and the group of people I was with, went back inside, came back out with a clipboard, and she walked up to us and was like offering us a job. And we're like, we don't live here. She's like, oh, where do you live? And we're like, oh, we live in Lexington. And she's like, oh, I work down there sometimes. I'm like the regional manager. And then we declined the job offer. And she was like, have you ever thought about getting into any modeling stuff? And I was like, no, not at all. Because where I grew up, and it's not a thing. Like most people work on a farm or they work, a 9 to 5 in a factory or wherever. Like it's not. And so like, I thought about it for many years. Like for some reason, her words always just like kept coming back to me at least a couple times a week. And I was just like, man, maybe I should try this. And one day, I just decided to go to a small little agency in Lexington, and they were happy to have me. And when I started with them, I literally was so nervous when it came to acting. Like I despised it. I was like, I just want to do, stills.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden it was like, I booked a commercial. It was like no lines. And I was like, okay, that wasn't bad. And then I booked one with lines. I was like, okay, even better, more pay. And then after that, like I just started being like, I did 2 as an extra and 2 like films. One was a real small film and another one was for, I think, Lifetime. It was like shot in Louisville. Met some amazing people. Got to watch like these bigger actors like show out. And I was like, you know what? I was like, I could definitely do this.
Okay. Wow, man. So what kind of work were you doing before you got into it, man?
Before I got into, I was working in the landscaping industry.
Okay.
Yeah, and masonry stuff. Like a lot of people when they look at me, they're like, "Oh, you don't get dirty." I'm like, "Yeah, I do."
Oh man. But that ladies, those words just kind of kept coming back to you, huh? Playing in your head throughout the years. Yep. And you decided to just take action.
Yeah, and then one thing led to another, and it was like all of a sudden I signed with a bigger agency. Then I started just like having a bigger network of people, and then signed with another agency, and then now it's like I have this huge network, and it's a blessing, man. It honestly is. Like, and they all like are super supportive. They want nothing but like the best for me.
That's amazing, man. Yeah, you've worked on productions like What If, co-starring with Myron Kingery, and How to Con a Con, Wimbledon Dreams. You've done commercials, for example, Kentucky Proud.
Yep.
You've done so much stuff, man. You've done so much stuff, and do you feel like you're kind of just scratching the surface type of thing?
I kind of do feel that way just because of like not like as if I went to a bigger market, like for instance, like LA or Atlanta, it's like there's so much bigger things out there. But in my current market, I feel like I'm definitely about middle ground, I guess you could say. Like I've done a lot, but there's still more to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And do you ever contemplate moving to a bigger market? LA?
Man, I do. Yeah. And sometimes I do get kind of drug into other markets where like I'll book like a short film down in Mexico. Like that's completely opposite of my market, you know what I mean? And those are always fun because they pay for your travel, they pay for your meals, anything you want when you're there.
Oh man, that's terrible, man. Yeah. No, like I mentioned, Josh, I've done some acting myself, man, and I love being on set, man. It's nothing. It's fun, man. It's there's a lot of downtime, but but that's when you're supposed to be networking, you know, and
Oh yeah.
connecting with others, right? When I look back, you know, I should have done more of that, you know, when I was on set with others, and yeah, you know, I would come in contact with a lot of not a lot, but some disgruntled because I did a lot of background work, and a lot of background people they'd be kind of, you know, have a negative attitude, you know, and like that's totally wrong, man. Totally, like it's a blessing, and I wasn't you know, maintaining that attitude. I was just kind of coming in contact with individuals, and um, but no, it's definitely a super cool experience, man. I have a little Matthew McConaughey story that
That's pretty cool.
I like to tell. What's that?
So that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Basically, we were on set in Malibu, here in LA. This big mansion. We're shooting a movie he did called Surfer Dude, and it was it didn't do. It wasn't a huge movie. It was more. It's more of obscure. One of his obscure movies he did with Woody Harrelson.
Okay.
And you can find it on. You can find that movie online somewhere. You know, I think Netflix might have it somewhere. Hulu, one of those, maybe YouTube. But basically, long story short, this guy was choked. We were all sitting down, cast and crew, eating, you know, lunch. We're breaking for lunch, and this guy started choking, and he was sitting across from me, and then McConaughey was across from me, maybe two people over, and this guy starts choking, and people are kind of like, oh, whoa, what's going on, you know? And then all of a sudden he stands up, and then here comes McConaughey and smacks the hell out of his back. Not the he didn't do the Heimlich. He just starts smacking his back. Boom, boom. This guy was a bigger dude, right? And then finally he just the thing pops out. I think it was like a piece of chicken or something, man. And then McConaughey's still smacking him, and the guy's like, "Hey, okay."
It's like, I'm good.
Huh?
I said, he was like, I'm good.
Yeah. But the guy was like, he was calling him Sinister. He went by Sinister. That was his name, his wrestling nickname. He was a bigger guy. I guess he was a wrestler, and he went by Sinister. It was kind of
Stage
random.
name.
Yeah, his stage name. And come on, Sinister. And then he's just smacking him. But anyways, but everybody applauded. But that was McConaughey, man, and that was my little story. But yeah, you know. So, but yeah, man, definitely, man. What do you? And you're also modeling, correct?
Yeah, I do that in between. Yeah.
Gosh, man, and how do you have do you like one or the other, man, more than the other, or I mean, it's just two separate things, you know?
I've definitely like fallen more in love with film because it allows me to truly show my potential and my talents. Yeah, it takes talent to be a model, like to pose and, you know, facial expression, stuff like that. But when it comes to like film acting, it's just it's amazing. Like, it's so cool being able to watch yourself. And every time, you know, I criticize myself a lot, honestly. You know, whenever I see a picture or if I watch something I'm in, I'm like, dang, I should have did this. I should have done that. But I think we all do that, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. We're our own biggest critics, man, you know? Our own
We
biggest
are.
critics. You know, you know, I shouldn't have I got a little bit ahead of myself, and I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit more about some of the acting stuff you've done.
Yeah.
In particular, What If, you know, the short film you did recently, co-starring with Myron Kingery.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about that experience, man. How did you get how did you book that role? How did everything come about for you, man?
So there was a company called M5 Entertainment, and I had worked with them like prior on like a music video. And the owner, got in contact with me, and he was like, man, he's like, I've been, you know, wanting to do this short film for a long time. And he's like, he basically like was like, hey, I have a role for you. Like, I didn't even really have to audition.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, okay, cool. And like, we filmed it, and, you know, just working alongside Miriam is like crazy because watching his talent in front of you and being able to like work with him is insane. And whenever there were scenes where he was like, there's a scene where like he like cries, and he turned that on so fast, and I was just like blown away.
That's amazing, man. Yeah. Now, has that been released? That short film?
So they're sending it to some festivals, but
Okay.
you can actually find it on YouTube. They released it early.
Oh,
So
right. I gotta look for it then, man. I gotta check it out.
yeah, it should be pretty easy to find. M5 Entertainment, What If? I mean, that should definitely pop up. If not, I can send you the link.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do that. What's the name of your character?
My character's name is Brandon. So I played the son that never happened. It's like What If is a drug awareness, but it's based off of true story of the director and writer. So his wife at that time, they were pregnant, and he didn't know that she was actually a drug user. And so from her drug use, they lost the baby. And I played Brandon, who basically comes into like, it's like I'm like a dream.
Oh, gotcha, man. No, that's powerful, man. I like the
It is very powerful.
uh, man. I like that premise. Gosh, based on true story.
It's pretty awesome, man. I was honored to be chosen to play that character. Like,
Wow, wow, man. I can't wait to watch that, man. And how long is this film?
it's real short because it's more of a short awareness like message. I think
Mhm.
it's like 12 to 15 minutes long.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. No, big shout out to all the cast and crew and Myron.
Oh yeah,
And,
they're all fantastic. They're all super supportive as well. And anything I do, I, man, I couldn't ask for better people in the industry.
that's a beautiful thing, man. Isn't that cool, man? Working with people that are like just so humble and supportive, and I mean, gosh, in
Now,
this
don't get
day.
me wrong, there are plenty that
Let's talk about them, man. No, I'm kidding.
are
uh, yeah, no, that's great. That's great, man. I like I said, man, I can't wait to catch that one. And where did you guys shoot that
We
production?
actually shot back in northern Kentucky, where I am from, at a place called Rabbit Hash. It's a kind of like a historical little town.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty cool to go back there. Like I hadn't been to that town since, man, I was in high school with like my high school girlfriend.
Really? Oh, Rabbit Hatch, you said?
Yep, Rabbit Hash, Kentucky.
Interesting, bro. I gotta look that up, man. Gosh dang it, I want to go out. I want to get out there, man. These play, like I said, man. I could just, I'm picturing like a small town, you know, kind of older buildings, you know.
There's a lot of them like that in Kentucky.
Yeah, man. Like I said, so much cool history out there, man. Um, but yeah, that's great, Josh, man. And you're also a personal trainer, right? We mentioned her earlier with
Yep.
NGU mentality and never give up. And how's that going for you, man?
Man, that's also a blessing. Like being able to like, build people's confidence and like help them along their health journeys is like the key thing for me. Like I love seeing their confidence build, whether that's in-person training or online training. Like just having them give us feedback, it just makes me smile, man. It warms my heart, honestly.
I bet, man. I bet. It's do you ever look back and just think like, I mean, you just one day you're in one bit, one industry, you're in landscaping and stuff, and now here you are, modeling, acting, inspiring others, mentoring others through your personal training. How is that? How does that feel when you look back at all this, man?
I mean, that smile probably says it all, but
Yeah.
it's man, it's a wonderful thing. Back then it was like I felt so lost, I guess you could say, and like what I wanted to do with my life. And then once I found, the industry and even personal training, it was like, this is it. Like this is what I was like meant for. Like,
Yeah. That's awesome, brother. Now, like you mentioned, you were kind of just wondering. I think did you say you were lost? Kind of just.
yeah, I felt lost. Like I did like my purpose. Like it was like, what is my purpose? Like, am I supposed to just work every day from daylight to dark? I
Mm,
was like, it just
yeah.
didn't. you know.
No, that's great, man. Because a lot of people, man, unfortunately, just they never really find their purpose, right? Or there's something they want to do something in life. They want to go after a certain goal, a dream, but they don't take action,
Right.
because I'm right there too, man. I'm guilty of that, and they don't do it because of fear or just there's doubt, whatever,
Right.
and I guess, yeah, everybody's on a different path, right?
Correct.
And I decided, later on in life to, give it another shot, man.
Yeah, you definitely should, man. Like, that's the thing about acting. It's like there's no like final age limit or anything.
Yeah. Uh,
Because they need actors in all shapes and sizes and ages. So,
no, exactly. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. There's opportunity out there, man.
oh yeah. And it's definitely opened up a lot more too with a lot of the streaming services making their own films. Like that gives a lot of like us smaller actors in the industry more opportunities.
Right. Yeah, yeah. You got Hulu, you got Tubi, you got is it Peacock? I mean, just
Something like that.
yeah,
There's
you're right, man. That's a great point, man. Roku, the list goes on.
Prime. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. And they're all doing their original productions, which is, yeah, that's awesome, man. It's opening doors, more opportunities. What's wrong with that? You know,
Agree.
right? Yeah, man. Um, do you have a like a favorite thing that you do, Josh? Like, I mean, you mentioned you said acting compared to modeling, but they're all different in their own right. I imagine, right? Modeling and the acting and then the personal training. You know, what would you say to someone though, Joshua, in Kentucky, maybe a young cat? You know, what piece of advice would you give that individual who's an actor and they kind of don't know where to go, or what kind of advice would you give them?
The same thing I give everybody is like you have to network, you have to market yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Like, do not be afraid to share, clips from your reel or pictures from like the photographer you just worked with. Like, I don't care how many times people are like, "Oh, you share too many pictures. I see too much of you." Like, because in reality, it's that it's not for those people. It's you're marketing yourself to an industry.
Exactly. 100%, man. We're sick of seeing you, Josh, right? I could, people say stuff, the darndest things, man. Like, yeah, it's not for, then don't follow me, right?
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, man. No, it's yeah, because what, knowing that you're from Kentucky, that's a pretty cool thing where you're not here in California, you're not in Atlanta, and I think that's great, man, because that goes to show that you can be anywhere, or there's opportunity out there, man. As long as you seek it out, it's there, man.
A lot of people, when we had COVID and everything locked down, so a lot of companies went to like the auditioning from home, like a lot of online auditioning,
Oh,
which I think is wonderful because that allows you to be able to audition for anything, not just in your market, but if you happen to get a hold of something in another market, you can audition for it. And you don't have to drive all the way there to audition.
yeah, man. No doubt, man. What kind of kid were you, Josh? Were you outgoing, shy? Were you athletic? Take it back a
So
little bit.
I would say, looking back, like I was friendly, but I mean, there was a lot of times I was very shy and I was an athlete. Like I played basketball, but I'm definitely way different now than I was when I was a kid. I mean, even when I was like 21, um, I definitely love who I am now more than ever in my life.
Mm, yeah. No, that's great, man. That's I'm relating to you, man, in so many ways, brother, because I'm definitely more confident now. I'm definitely, I have a better handle on life. And I think you're supposed to, I think, right? Because
Yeah.
Experience is a great teacher, as you go through adversity and stuff in life, you pick up wisdom, you pick up knowledge, experience, you
It's a
know.
beautiful thing.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. What if I go to your I was gonna say your CD player, but you know, maybe if it were 20 years ago, what if I go to your, let's say your gosh darn it, the Apple Music player,
Spotify.
Spotify, right? There you go. Thank you. What kind of music am I gonna find on Josh Verax's?
Man, you would
playlist?
find a lot of like Joyner Lucas. Let's see what else is mixed in there. Like Lil Baby.
Okay.
It's a lot, honestly, a lot of it like rap and hip hop mixed in with some alternative and some country. I mean, I grew up in the country. And then there's also R&B. I love R&B. That's one of my favorites.
Okay. Like who are some of your favorites? Favorite artists? R&B.
Back when I was a kid, is probably what started for me was between like Neo,
Oh yeah,
um,
like Neo.
Chris Brown,
Yeah. Okay.
and those guys, like along
Yeah.
those same lines.
Definitely, man. Definitely, man. And I grew up listening to an R&B. So we're talking R&B, right? I like Jodeci, Boys to Men,
Yeah, yeah.
Shy, Silk, High Five, these types of guys, man. Who else, man? Gosh darn it, there's so many. But these are all '90s R&B guys, and I really enjoyed those guys, those artists. You mentioned alternative. Who are some of your favorite alternative artists?
So I don't really have like any specific favorites. It's more like just like I go through like moods of like what I want to listen to.
Okay.
And a lot of it's just like random songs that like I've found like through playlists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
Okay.
I don't really know if it's considered like some of the songs are considered alternative, if they're considered like soft rock or like where they actually fall in the categories.
Gotcha.
Like bands like Puddle of Mud, stuff like
Okay.
that. Stained.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. For sure, man. Did you ever get into like grunge at all? Like the night, for example, like Pearl Jam, stuff like that.
Some of it.
Some of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, man. Yeah. Yeah. And what do you like to do to kind of relax, man, to de-stress and kind of disconnect? What is Josh?
Man, that's one thing. I'm terrible at relaxing. Bro, like I'm like constantly grinding. Like I guess, to really unwind,
Yeah.
it's probably just sometimes I'll just put on like Netflix, or I write, like writing. I love to write, like whether it's like poetry stuff,
Mm-hmm.
actually mostly poetry stuff or inspirational stuff. It just it clears my mind. It takes me out of the world I'm in for however long I'm writing for.
No doubt, man. Yeah. But you're a grinder then. Yeah, you love to work, you love to be on your hustle, which is great too, man. I mean, maybe that's how you like recharge too. I mean,
And
I
within
think.
the gym, of course.
Oh, okay. There you go. Yeah. Gosh, man, I've worked. You know what? I hate to admit it, man. I hate to admit it, Josh. I've worked out once. I've been not worked out. I've been to the gym one time since pandemic, man. March of 2020. Granted, they closed down for a good chunk of time, but since they've opened up, I've only been once, man. I've been on my push-up game a lot, and I grew up working out, man. I've been an athlete my whole life. But yeah, the older you get, man, the lazier you get, right? At least for me. But no, I definitely I miss lifting weights, brother. I used to love weights. I played football for a lot of
I was
years.
about to say. I
Yeah,
saw
bro.
your picture that you had posted a while back.
Oh yeah,
College days.
yeah, bro. So
Hey, you definitely, should get back to it, man.
I do, man. 100%, brother. 100%, man. And what's your grand vision, Josh? Like what do you foresee, or what would you like to see for yourself, man, in your career? What would be like a great, and you've done some great work already, man. You know, don't get me
Thank
wrong,
you.
but what goals do you have for yourself, man? And like I said, yeah, where do you
And,
plan?
when it comes to the whole industry, it's like, like the red carpet's cool. Like the release parties are cool. Sometimes the attention's cool. But for me, it's basically to inspire and make an impact and kind of leave a legacy behind.
Mm,
So like I want to, like kids that grew up like where I grew up, like who, maybe they watched movies and they would love to be a part of the industry, whether that's crew or cast. And like they're like, I never have a shot because I'm in the middle of nowhere on a farm.
mhm, mhm.
Well, I'm proof you do. You can have that opportunity.
No, exactly, man. That's what one thing I really wanted to talk to you about, man. That very thing right there, because you know, Kentucky's not known for a filmmaking hub or anything like that. No offense
Right.
to Kentucky, but it's just when you think of acting and all, yeah, Atlanta's really starting to get up there, right? It's starting to really expand in that area, and then obviously California and Hollywood and LA. But it's nice to see, man, that you're doing your thing, and I'm sure there's plenty of other individuals out there doing, a lot of work and great acting work and successful
100%.
in those areas, man. And that's great,
Yeah.
man.
A lot of us have to travel beyond, but it's okay. We like to travel, obviously.
Yeah, I love traveling too, brother. And like I was telling you and Rod, man, I want to get out there and big shout out Rod to Speak Your Minds, Rod McCord. But yeah, I definitely want to visit the that part of the world, man, and Kentucky, and like I said, man, it's
Just let us know, man, when
what's
you're on
that?
your way. Just let us know when you're on your way.
Yeah, thank you, man. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, man. What who are some of your favorite actors, Josh?
Well, you said one earlier. Matthew McConaughey is one of my favorite actors.
Oh, all right.
One of my favorite movies that he was in is Ghost of Girlfriend's Past. I think it's more,
Oh,
it's kind of like a Christmas movie, but and it's a, what they call a chick flick. But I love that movie, and it's like for some reason there's like I see parts of me in his character that, and
uh-huh.
it's funny too. It's comical and it's serious, and it's got a love story behind it. So it's got a lot of good combinations.
Yeah, man. Sorry, my daughter's kicking the door in right now. And I don't know if you can hear that.
Oh, I hear it. Yeah,
You hear it?
barely.
Uh, they just got home, man. But no, yeah. McConaughey's awesome, man. And I don't know if you've seen Interstellar.
I haven't seen it yet. I need to see it.
You got to see that one, man. That one blew. That it's just phenomenal, phenomenal. If you're into sci-fi, even if you're not into sci-fi stuff like that, it's a beautiful story, man. Beautiful movie. Just mind blowing, bro. Mind blowing. I highly recommend it. Highly
I will
recommend
have to check it out.
Yeah. You remember Dazed and Confused when he did that one? I
Yeah.
think oh man. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
funny looking back at like where some of these like actors started, and like you'd be like, wait, he was in that?
Yeah.
Especially
I
when
know.
they make it big time and you're like, oh,
Yeah. Did you ever see that one, Dazed and Confused?
yeah.
Yeah, right.
It's been a while. I'd have to rewatch it just because I haven't watched it forever.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's yeah, mid 90s now. I think one of maybe gosh, early 90s, man. I want to say 95, maybe 93. Gosh. Yeah, man.
I
No,
love that the point in like every actor's career that you see where when you're watching films or TV series and you just start like seeing them in this and this and this, and all of a sudden they're in this huge production and they blow up their career. Like
yeah,
I love seeing that.
no doubt, man. That's cool. That's cool, man. You see that a lot, what do you like to do, Josh, to kind of is there any way well, I shouldn't say it. What do you like to do to kind of keep your get your sharpen your acting skills?
Honestly, like, again, you said it earlier too, is this experience is the best teacher. It's like putting yourself on, being on sets, whether it's as an extra and watching how these other actors play. Like, and then, or like I've taken some acting classes before as well. But my thing is like, my biggest thing is just the experience. It's just being on set and learning every little thing I can. I mean, I'll even talk to the crew and ask them about like lighting, like what's this do or what's that do?
Yeah. Heck yeah. No, that's cool, man. That's, someone said last night I was at this event, man, and every role, when you're on set, every role is critical, man. Yeah. From the lighting, for example, the sound, obviously, everything, man. It all plays in a pivotal role, in the grand scheme of things to the production. But yeah, I think that's great, man. I would love to, yeah. What is this lighting for, man? What sound and the technical aspects of the intricacies, right, of filmmaking, man.
I try to learn a little bit of everything every time I'm on set, whether it's pertaining to acting or the crew.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt. Yeah, man. So what anything any upcoming projects that you want to mention?
Yeah, man, I got quite a few going into 2022. I've got the feature film Wimbledon Dreams, which is a tennis inspirational film. Okay. That's going to start filming. Then Rod, with Collaborative Minds and Speaking Minds, has Lazarus Game, which started out as a short film and has slowly turned into a feature film. So I've got that coming up.
Oh, man.
It's a mini series called Predator that shoots in South Carolina.
Okay.
I have a small role in that. They tried to give me a bigger role like after a while, and just I couldn't do it with all the other stuff going on. So like I had to stick with my main role and just go down there for a few days. It's pretty simple. Then I've got, if everything works out, the short film shooting in Mexico called Friday Night.
Nice.
So hopefully that plan works out. And then The Pure and the Damned. This is a mafia miniseries that is currently being packaged towards Netflix. But if it doesn't get on Netflix, it will definitely be on Amazon Prime.
Wow, man.
And my character is pretty cool. His name is X. And I'm like the right-hand man to one of the mob bosses.
Oh, and sweet.
My character at first, I'm pretty mysterious. You don't really know who I am. You don't know much about me. And as the series goes on, my character becomes very pivotal and develops.
Yeah, man, you got a lot going on, man. That's awesome. I can't wait to see all this stuff, man.
I can't wait to start on all of it, man. It's exciting.
Yeah, congratulations, man. Do you ever have scheduling conflicts, or do you kind of have to, anticipate or just you got to know your schedule up, I would imagine, months ahead, right?
Yeah, generally, a lot of times things happen, it'd be like, oh, we were scheduled to shoot this day, and all of a sudden it's like, it's got to get pushed back, which happens. Or, it can be, I've never really had like the same things going on at the same time, because I let them know like, hey, I have this going on, these tentative dates. And I try not to book anything that's like big. Like if I get a lead role in another film, like there's no way I could do it on top of like the other 2 featured films I'm in. Like it would have to be like later on. But now short films generally only film for like, I don't know, 4 days, sometimes a week, sometimes shorter than that. Could be 1 day.
Yeah.
And if you get a small role in a series, you might be there just for 1 day. And
oh, that's true. Yeah.
And the modeling stuff is always like 1 to 2 days, and sometimes you can get booked for a week, but
I see.
It all depends.
Yeah, no doubt. But that's fun, man. It's fun to be, scheduling what you love to do. Oh man. Hey Josh, man, before we wrap things up, man, who name 3, or if you can narrow down to 3 to 4 individuals who have influenced you, have mentored you, And they could be celebrities, it could be family, friends that you would love to sit down with and have dinner with, to kind of pick their brain and to, you know, yeah, just, you know, learn and break bread with.
I would definitely say like Katie Ward. She's been a huge help for my career. And, you know, we are friends. I see her quite often. We talk on the phone and stuff. Um, and then, you know, also looking towards like Jim Hopper, he's a photographer.
Okay.
He's fantastic, always supportive. And then, you know, my of course, my three best friends, Logan, Jerry, and Troy, which they all live in different states now. I'm the only one left here.
Is that right? They all left?
Yeah.
They fled, huh? Fled Kentucky.
They keep telling me I'm not long for Lexington, so we'll see.
They're what? I'm sorry?
I said they keep telling me I'm not long for Lexington, so we'll see.
Where are they at now?
Troy's in Colorado, Jerry's in Philly, and Logan is in Indiana, so he's not too far from me.
Okay. Oh man, shout out to all the friends there, man. But yeah, no, that's cool, man. I love asking that question. You get a lot of really cool answers, and but yeah, man, Josh, I want to thank you for coming on, man. Here, you're always welcome back. Let's get you back on in the future to you know, talk about more of your productions and get all your jobs, your acting jobs, and everything, all your roles, everything you're doing, man. Because it's, I mean, yeah, like we mentioned earlier, I think we're seeing the tip of the iceberg, man. Here with your acting career, and it's gonna be fun to watch you, man.
Appreciate that, man. It's an honor being on here with you guys. Shout out to Social Nostra, Speak Your Minds, all the guys involved.
Oh, no doubt, man. Those guys are phenomenal. Kevin and Rod, man. And we were talking earlier, man. I can't wait to meet them in person, face to face. But yeah, there's no excuse for Kevin, man. We live like I was saying, hour and a half apart, man, and we should be hanging out here and there, you know.
I'll just say, me and Rod, we live in the same city, so we see each other, you know, at least once a week.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, give Rod my best, man. And
definitely.
Yeah, definitely, man. Well, hey, man, before we go, where can we find you? Where can the people find your work, websites, social media, all that good stuff? Go ahead and plug all that, man.
Yeah, so like basically, my Instagram is just Joshua Verax, and then same with my Facebook. My website is Joshua Verax, I think just .com is what it is. Yeah, it's just joshuaverax.com.
JoshuaVerax.com. There it is.
And you can check out NGU Mentality as well, the personal training company I work for, which is NGUmentality.com. If you ever need a consultation or any help, we're there for you.
Yeah, no doubt, man. No doubt, man. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Verax. Go check him out. Go follow him. You will be seeing a lot more of him. Hey, man, thanks again for taking the time. Like I said, man, you're always welcome back. Let's do this again. And hopefully maybe, you know, we'll do face-to-face, you know.
Great.
No doubt, brother. No doubt. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Joshua Verax thank you so much for tuning in, and wherever you're tuning in from. Once again, if you're on the audio platforms, thank you so much for being here. On the video, YouTube, IGTV, Roku, all that good stuff, man. All those platforms, man. We're here to entertain and provide you with great content, inspire. Hopefully, we're doing all that for you, man. Again, you know, bringing on individuals like Joshua doing big things in life, and that's what it's all about. So don't forget to leave me a rate review on Apple Podcasts. Give Joshua a follow. Give me a follow. Profile Pod TV, Social Nostra, all the good stuff, man. Go follow Speak Your Minds, Collaborative Minds. Man, it's all big family, man. That's what it's all about, man. So thanks again, Josh, for being here.
Appreciate you. Like I said, it's an honor.
Absolutely, man. Thank you so much. And ladies and gentlemen, for Joshua Verax, I'm Double A. Don't forget to follow us, and always remember to take it